फास्टेस्ट क्रिकेट स्कोर अपडेट्स या सबसे डिटेल्ड स्टैट्स,
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या हेल्दी डिबेट्स,
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या फैंस का क्रेज, सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म, क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट।
Hello everyone, you're watching Cricket Next. I am Surama Kaushik. ICC has released the new schedule of ICC Men's World Cup 2023. Well, as expected, India versus Pakistan match has been rescheduled to October 14th from October 15th. What are the other changes? We'll talk about all of them in detail over here. And with that, let me welcome all our guests for today's live session. And for that, I have with me Jamie Alter, Chetan Narula, and Keshrivas Rao. Hello, Srini. Hello, Jamie. Hello, Chetan. We were all expecting this schedule to be out soon, and finally it has come out. Jamie, we were expecting this change in India and Pakistan's fixture. What do you have to say about all the changes, all the 9 changes?
Yeah, good evening, Ramya. Again, it's just sort of baffling. I'm hearing that the BCCI was aware of about half, if not more, of these date changes well in advance, but their public acknowledgement came much later. I mean, look, I think from an Indian perspective, we need to focus mainly on that match. We've done shows on that. How people did not realize earlier on that this was going on. We've discussed that. So there's no point talking about what we've already done. The main thing is we're cutting it. We've already cut it so close. Now, hopefully, the World Cup schedule will be announced, and then the media accreditation can start. What's gone is gone. We definitely need to look forward because there's less than 2 months now until things start to get into place. A lot of travel has to be planned. Go what?
Yeah,
No.
Yeah. So again, like what's done is done. Let's hope there's no more changes. We shouldn't expect any more changes. It's been very embarrassing for the BCCI, for people who care and love Indian cricket. But bottom line is, we've discussed this many times. BCCI is least bothered about all this. So let the show go on.
Yeah, let this show go on. Schedule सारे changes India versus Pakistan जो change था वो सबसे ज़्यादा expect किया जा रहा है, नहीं हुआ है. 14 expect कर रहे थे कोई खेलेगा. पर बात करें बाकी सारे changes की, तो श्री, were you expecting all these changes? लग रहा था कि इतने changes होने वाले हैं 9 matches में क्योंकि change हुआ है.
See, so I can tell you a couple of things that happened, and these are very important things. And I mean, leave aside, the politics of what happens in this country, everything. Leave aside all that. The point is, the chief minister of a state got in touch with BCCI very formally and said, "Listen, there is this festival time. I mean, this is after what happened in Ahmedabad. Okay, I'll break it down for you. So give me 5 minutes for this." This is after what happened in Ahmedabad. The chief minister of another state got in touch, said, "Listen, we are also expecting a similar issue here. So you'll have to act on this." Now, nobody went public. Nobody went to the media. Nothing. This was done internally, right? So this was a very serious issue. And they had to act on it. They had to give it all the importance that was required. So the problem is not in giving or addressing the issue. The problem is in not being forthcoming about it. The problem where I hold BCCI guilty is not about, it's a complicated country. Let us accept it. It's a complicated country. We are used to embarrassing ourselves. I think we are long past that, and it doesn't make any difference to us. हमारा वो जो चलता है वाला attitude है, वो है. We have to live with it. The point is, you continue to stay secretive about it and not be forthcoming. That is disrespect. That is disrespect to who? Forget everyone else. Forget your broadcaster, forget your sponsor, forget players, visiting players, teams, boards, forget all of them. You are disrespectful towards the fans. तुम्हारा कोई sport, तुम्हारा कोई existence नहीं है without the fans. तुम्हारा कोई existence नहीं है. Now you, as an institution, you continue to disrespect your fans by not actually speaking out what is happening. And in that, I think, lies the real mess. The fact that you have created a mess. So, for example, I'll give you the person who sat down and scheduled a Pakistan game on the first day of Navratri in Ahmedabad and during the a Pakistan game during Pujo in Kolkata. Right now, as we speak, should be given the marching orders, should be asked to go on leave. Okay, should actually be held responsible. This is the amount of irresponsibility that we are looking at.
Yeah.
You know, बीसीसीआई क्या है, बीसीसीआई बेवकूफ है, बीसीसीआई कभी सुधरा है क्या? बीसीसीआई कभी नहीं सुधरा है. I'll tell you, 2011 वर्ल्ड कप till the last minute I was like, अरे भाई वानखेड़े बनेगा कि नहीं टाइम पे? And BCCI never bothered to explain because they think that BCCI is above everything else. Their miscommunication is where lies the mess. And in this case, I think the guy who wrote the first draft of the schedule, we should call him on this show.
Much needed. Yes, Chetan, I'll come to you, but I think very valid point raised by Srini that, miscommunication plus the attitude of not answering questions and not being transparent with the fans is the whole big issue out there, because you never bothered to answer the questions of people, and that's why this delay has happened. And now we are just less than 2 months away from that World Cup. What do you have to say about it, Chetan?
Look, we have discussed this before as well. The day the the postponements were announced. जिस दिन announce हुआ था, ये obvious था कि सिर्फ एक मैच आप change नहीं कर सकते. ये मैंने उस दिन भी कहा था. क्योंकि आप देखो, आप 15 से it's India Pakistan. India Pakistan is the singular biggest event. इंग्लैंड वाले जाके कोने में रो सकते हैं कि Ashes ये, Ashes वो. India Pakistan in an ODI World Cup, in a T20 World Cup, is the biggest event in international cricket. Nothing comes close. उस दिन आप कोई और मैच रख ही नहीं सकते. तो जब आप 14 को जो 2 मैच जो थे, आपको वो एडजस्ट करने थे, और वही उन्होंने किया है. जो 14th को मैच थे, एक आप 13th को ले गए हैं, एक आपने 15th को कर दिया है. 13th को लखनऊ में मैच था, वो भी बहुत बड़ा मैच था ऑस्ट्रेलिया साउथ अफ्रीका का, वो आपने 12 को कर दिया है. और सबसे बड़ी बात, पाकिस्तान ऑलरेडी 12 को खेल रहा था, तो आपने उसको 10 को कर दिया है. So you had to take so many things into consideration. It was never just going to be India Pakistan. Where I take offense as an Indian cricket fan, I'll say I'm taking offense. जो श्रीनी ने कहा है कि जो दूसरा मैच इंग्लैंड पाकिस्तान का जो पूजो, and श्रीनी doesn't need to say कि कौन सी स्टेट, कौन सा चीफ मिनिस्टर, वो ऑब्वियस है क्योंकि चेंज तो उसके अलावा एक ही और हुआ है ना. और यहां पे लेट मी टेल यू दिस, इंडियंस आर द ओनली पीपल जो हम अपने इंटरनेशनल स्टेज पे अपने ही देश को मलाइन करते हैं. एट द एंड ऑफ द डे, दिस इज नॉट अमित शाह's वर्ल्ड कप, दिस इज नॉट जय शाह's वर्ल्ड कप, दिस इज नॉट अ बीजेपी वर्ल्ड कप, दिस इज इंडिया's वर्ल्ड कप.
राइट.
स्टेट लेवल हो, आपकी पॉलिटिक्स क्या है, कुछ भी है, दिस इज इंडिया's वर्ल्ड कप. इंडिया पाकिस्तान आपको दिख रहा है कि सिक्योरिटी इशू आ सकता है, उसके 3 हफ्ते तक आप चुप रहे, उसके बाद सीएम फोन कर रहा है या ये कर रहा है, एंड वी नो हु दैट सीएम इज, एंड वी नो देयर दैट सीएम्स पॉलिटिक्स, और उस स्टेट की पॉलिटिक्स इज ऑलवेज अगेंस्ट द सेंट्रल. सो दिस इज पॉलिटिक्स. आपने पॉलिटिक्स यूज करके इंडिया की इमेज को टार्निश किया है. So yes, Srini says कि it's complicated and this and that, but no, it is not complicated. It is simple कि हमको अपने देश को embarrass करने की आदत है. We are used to it. And now I don't want to get into politics here, but the bigger fault, despite all of this, the bigger fault lies with the BCCI. Srini कहता है कि जिसने ये इनिशियल शेड्यूल बनाया कि आपने पाकिस्तान का गेम नवरात्रि के पहले दिन कर दिया, पूजो वाले दिन कर दिया, yes, that person should be sacked. There is no doubt about it. But यहां पे मैं ये भी कहूंगा कि जय शाह is also responsible because Srini gives 2011 का एग्जाम्पल. वो कह रहे हैं कि वानखेड़े कैसे बन गया. वो ऐसे बन गया because शरद पवार with all his power and everything, he got it done. और दूसरी
once again, I didn't say कैसे बन गया. I said that lack of communication has been BCCI's forte. I said that they've never been known for their communication.
But communication को आप 1 मिनट के लिए साइड रखो. My point is कि it was still they got it done despite the lack
All
of
that
communication.
BCCI needed to do at this point
They
in
got
time,
it done.
all that BCCI needed to do at this point in time was come forward, say that listen, we did not take it into account that there was this mistake committed by us. We
Which is where
faltered
the
here.
point is.
We
Yeah.
apologize. We expect
Right.
the fans to be patient about this.
Hmm.
After you have done, जो होना था वो तो हो गया. I'm saying after what was done, what I expect BCCI to do was come forward, say, listen, this is a mistake by the person who drafted this schedule. Whatever, we are collectively responsible for this.
But-
We
And
apologize.
we'll
We have
make
to
these
take
changes.
cricket
Yeah,
board.
but Srini,
Yeah.
Srini, you have to understand one thing: the difference between 2011 and even the 2016 T20 World Cup. This time there is no subcommittee of the World Cup which is just looking at the World Cup. Yeah,
There was no CEO then. There is no subcommittee now.
there was,
So
yeah,
it is
but
fine. Point is, as an
Professor
institution, as
Ratnakar
an
Shetty in
organization,
2011.
BCCI's
You are very well
inability.
aware. 2011 में प्रोफेसर रत्नाकर शेट्टी ने कितनी जबरदस्त तरीके से
मैं बता रहा हूँ, listen to me ना. I spoke with BCCI. I'm talking to them every day. Okay, and I talk to them every day. To me, there is somebody in BCCI. मेरे मुंह पे झूठ बोला, boss. They've lied to me. I talk to them on a single daily basis. Okay, your inability to communicate with somebody, like trying to, but how will you communicate with your fans if you can't communicate with me? And I have been trying to communicate with BCCI for 20 years. That's what I've done. It is
Also,
your
just-
simple inability. Either you are used to lying. See, one second. Either you are used to lying. It is ingrained. Okay, and it is आपसे कोई काम सीधी तरीके से बनती ही नहीं है, या आप पे इतना पॉलिटिकल प्रेशर है कि आप मुंह खोल के सच बोल नहीं सकते हो, या आपको मतलब आपको खुद को नहीं पता है आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में क्या हो रहा है, या आपसे गलती हो चुकी है और आप डरते हो उसको एक्सेप्ट करने के लिए, या आपको समझ में नहीं आ रहा है इस एड्रेस इश्यू को कैसे एड्रेस करना है, और वर्ल्ड कप कंडक्ट करना आपके बस की बात ही नहीं है. जो भी आपका प्रॉब्लम हो,
all of the above. All of the
problem.
above.
It's a very high.
Not being able to say that I am stuck with an issue here, please allow me to come back to you with a correction. That I think is a bigger problem. Look at what is ailing the fans right now. फैन क्या बोल रहा है? इंडिया में वर्ल्ड कप नहीं होनी चाहिए बोल रहा है? नहीं, वर्ल्ड कप तो यही होगी, सब कुछ यही है. फैन बोल रहा है यार मेरे को इतना तो बता दो कि क्या करने वाले हो, कब करने वाले हो. तुम बोलो कि भाई एक हफ्ता और रुकना पड़ेगा, एक हफ्ता और रुकना, उसका गाली खा लो तुम. ये रोज 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 क्या गाली खाते हो? एक ही बार का गाली खाओ, बोलो भाई एक हफ्ता तुमको रुकना है, मेरे पास कोई चारा नहीं है, ये गलती हुई है, आप रुक जाओ. कोई मीडिया वाले को बोल दो, ऑफ द रिकॉर्ड बोल दो. आपको बात ही नहीं करनी है, आपको कम्युनिकेट ही नहीं करना है.
You very well know there was a wait. There was a meeting. You very well know there was a meeting, and some reporters were addressed, but this issue was not addressed in that. So
because that doesn't mean the reporters did not ask. That doesn't mean that the reporters did not ask. They refused to share.
should be on the show. He asked, but it was sidestepped. This issue was sidestepped. कि नहीं बॉस ये नहीं होगा.
हाँ, that's what Srini said. हाँ.
So that's what I'm
That's
saying.
what Srini said. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what you said, right, Srini?
They just don't want to address this issue.
There is a chronic inability to not communicate. Okay, this is not today's BCCI's problem. Why I gave you the example of 2011 is because this is not today's BCCI's problem. This is exactly how BCCI has been ever since at least I know it. And I have, like, if 25 years, make for a generation, I've actually seen a generation pass, either as a journalist or as a trainee or as somebody who's been tracking. And I can tell you, I have never seen a different BCCI. This is exactly how they have been. Are we expecting them to be different? No. The point here is, आप हमेशा करो ये गंदगी, हर की चीज के साथ करो ये गंदगी, चलेगा. बट जहां पे आप फैंस को इस तरीके से डिसरिस्पेक्ट करते हो, ये कभी ना कभी some point in some other way, this is going to come back. This is what I'm saying. And I think this is about the fans. If you leave the fans aside, it doesn't affect anything else. Ground वैसे ही तैयार हो जाएंगे, public वैसे ही टीवी पे देखेगी. It is the fans.
Right. Absolutely. Jamie, do you find it as the case of BCCI's arrogance that they have nothing to do with fans? They are really not bothered about the fans and they feel like that, ठीक है, हमने आज कर दिया schedule announce या कल कर देते तो भी कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता क्योंकि matches देखने तो आएंगे fans. So do you find it as a case of arrogance?
I've said it before, Suramya. I was barely 7 years old when I first went to watch a test match. आपको 6 साल में क्या पता है? लेकिन इस 6 साल के बच्चे को मालूम पड़ा कि भाई अभी अपने पैसे से कभी मैच मत देखना इंडिया. I'm talking about December 1987. ठीक है. I'm not gonna. Shini has far more experience when it comes to dealing with these matters, but I maintain that from an outside perspective, based on what we're seeing, this is the worst administrative BCCI I have seen. Okay, it's never been perfect. We've seen problems, but like Chetan said, 2011 में किसी ना किसी तरीके से वो काम हो गया, right? It was not a national embarrassment. This is, like Chetan said, it is a national embarrassment. The thing is, the BCCI doesn't give two hoots about any of us sitting here. And fans, have the fans ever mattered? And I'm going to come to the fans. It is these fans, their fan base, their pagalpanti, their fanaticism that the BCCI uses to say, we want to go from 22.8 of the revenue share to 40%. If that is not arrogance, I don't know what is. Shini's talked about arrogance, Chetan's talked about arrogance, and they're both right. My biggest problem is that you use these same fans as leverage to get the biggest chunk of the pie. I want these fans to troll them. I have changed my tune. I want these fans to troll the BCCI. The problem is they won't. चेतन ने भी पहले ही कहा था कि सबसे बड़े जो losers हैं वो actually fans हैं. इंडिया के अंदर इतनी बर्बादी है, इतनी आबादी है, इतनी अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट है कि फिर भी आपको हाउसफुल स्टेडियम्स मिल जाएंगे. And the BCCI knows this. They don't care about Chetan's friends coming in from America, Shini's colleagues, they don't care. They know कि यही की आबादी से, यही की जनता से हम इंडिया वाले मैच के दिन स्टेडियम भर सकते हैं. If that's not arrogance, I don't know what. And one more thing, why, like Chetan said, it's a national embarrassment is because it has affected your own tourism. This was a great chance for you to boost the post-COVID, your biggest event, to boost tourism, to boost the hospitality industry. आपने उनको भी नहीं माना. आप सिर्फ और सिर्फ अपने बारे में सोच रहे हो, and this is top down to the bottom. This is why it's the worst BCI I've seen. If I'm factually wrong, Shini, please correct me.
No, it's 100% right.
And यहाँ पे fans की भी बात करनी होगी. No, taking fans for granted is fine. यहाँ पे fans की भी बात करनी होगी. Fans themselves are to blame for this. Absolutely, they are to blame for this. कोई भी फिक्सचर लिस्ट आता है, पहले इस बात पे चर्चा शुरू हो जाती है, अरे मुंबई को एक्स्ट्रा टेस्ट मैच क्यों नहीं दिया, मुंबई को एक्स्ट्रा टेस्ट मैच क्यों नहीं दिया. आपने कभी there's a fan group, I don't want to take names, there's a Mumbai based fan group and it is the most prominent fan group in India. Have you ever, yes, कोई नहीं सुनता, श्रीनी की कोई नहीं सुनता, हमारी कोई नहीं सुनता, आपकी कौन सुनेगा, but have you ever gone on a forum and made a presentation or a plea to the BCCI on the behalf of all fans कि आप हमें better facilities दो, आप हमें respect से treat करो. बोल उन लोगों को वानखेड़े में टेस्ट मैच नहीं हो रहा, इससे ही टाइम नहीं मिलता, इससे ही टाइम नहीं मिलता उनको. कोई भी फिक्सचर लिस्ट है, अरे वानखेड़े में टेस्ट मैच नहीं हो रहा, भाई ये कर लो पहले तुम. So the fans themselves are stupid ना. वही तो बात है. आज मैं, श्रीनी, सुरम्या और जेमी नहीं जाएंगे तो 4 लोग बाहर खड़े हैं मैच देखने जाने के लिए. यार, we are a country of 150 crore people. There are enough idiots around. And not just in this country, overseas. मैं कह रहा हूं ना, मैंने आपको T20 World Cup का example दिया है last year. India was supposed to play West Indies on November 6 at the MCG. West Indies did not qualify. Ireland qualified in the other group. India was to play Zimbabwe. But the entire MCG, 85,000 people, all the way from Europe, all the way from Australia, all the way from India, all the way from America, they booked flights, hotels, tickets without knowing who India is playing.
Yeah. That's the craze of fans. And नाउ यू सी ना, टिकट सेल्स आपके शुरू हो जाएंगे 25 अगस्त से, और अगर हम इंडिया के मैचेस के बारे में बात करें तो 3 सितंबर से, विच मींस एक महीना ही बचेगा, सिर्फ और सिर्फ एक महीना बचा है और आपको अपने टिकट्स बुक करने हैं, एंड उसमें आपको अपनी फ्लाइट टिकट्स, आपको अपनी सारी बुकिंग्स, सब कुछ देखना है, एंड विल बी सो कॉस्टली, इजंट
I
इट?
just want to add
सिर्फ
here,
एक
Suramya.
महीने।
I just want to add here, Suramya. The tickets are not even digital. No
यस,
QR
दैट्स
code, no
वेरी
nothing.
प्रॉब्लम। या
इंडिया पाकिस्तान 14th को है। 7 अक्टूबर से अहमदाबाद में आपका बूथ खुलेगा जहां पे आपको फिजिकल टिकट्स जाके लेने हैं। It's absolutely bonkers.
I'll give you the example of one stadium. I can't, obviously, for obvious reasons, I can't name it. One stadium. Right now, as we speak, I was talking to somebody in that state association. 38, between 35 and 40,000 is the capacity of the ground. सामने वाला मेरे को कहता है 5,500 टिकट जाएंगे ऑनलाइन सेल पे, 5,500. Okay? 38,000, 40,000 capacity, less than 5,000 tickets, the guy says is going to go on sale. I'm like kind of appalled. He listed out the number of people who have to be obliged. He listed out the number of people who need to be taken into consideration. Says this is not even in my hands. This is, by the way, this conversation happened 2 weeks ago. Way ahead of, before BCCI had come anywhere close to finalizing any schedule. The ticketing is complete. I promise you this. You record the show, keep it, and I'm telling you, today we are on the 9th of the month. Let this month come to an end. We will be doing a show on how bad the ticketing issue is for the World Cup. I promise you that.
Shrini,
It is
Shrini,
going to
I'll
be
tell
a
you one more
massive
subject.
mess. Sorry?
Shrini, I'll tell you one more subject. BCCI has hired Grant Thornton for renovating the stadiums. Okay?
Not renovating.
जो भी है upgrading or whatever. जो भी है upgrading facilities. Upgrading facilities and everything.
No, to give them to do a study and to give them it's sort of a white paper in terms of what can be done
No,
to
but they're
upgrade.
also upgrading certain facilities in terms of washrooms and drinking water and this and that.
They won't do it. They obviously then the company,
That's my point.
then a tender will
That's
be
my
given.
point. ग्रैंड थॉर्टन के मैनेजर खुद देखने नहीं आएंगे. दे आर गोना हायर कॉन्ट्रैक्टर्स. ये मैं पहले भी शो पे कह चुका हूँ. दे गोना हायर कॉन्ट्रैक्टर्स. और मुझे एक कॉन्ट्रैक्टर दिखा दो इंडिया में जो टाइम पर काम करके डिलीवर करता है.
वो तो
So you are telling me from today
I mean, just because you are asking me no wait. So since you are asking me this question, let me India Australia का match हो रहा था, the test series, right? The third test match was held in the one that the Dharamshala test match that was cancelled was shifted to Indore. Okay, some of my friends had traveled from US, right, and they wanted to watch the game. They were 8 to 10 guys because this match was happening in Dharamshala. They had planned their India trip in a way. They planned their annual trip based on where India is playing. They at least watch one test match, right, anywhere in the world. So this test match was going to happen in Dharamshala. They planned it in Dharamshala. They said, great venue, we'll come watch a test match there. All right. They were ready to pay top dollar to come and watch the game. The match shifted to Indore. By the time they had booked all their India tickets, they were all geared up for the test match. Nobody wanted to cancel it. So be it, Indore. They all flew to Indore. I got in touch with someone. I said, all right, I need the best seats in this thing. These guys are obviously not used to the heat and everything. They said, we don't mind paying for a box. I said, okay. 1.5 lakh is what we paid for a 12-seater for a box. Okay. I asked the state association, tell me how much am I going to pay per day? Says no, all 5 days. I said, but test match, if it doesn't go after 30 days, doesn't matter. You pay for 5 days. They don't have a per day box available. I have to pay for all the 5 days. Doesn't matter that Rahul Dravid wants the test match to get over in 2.5 days. Doesn't matter. I have to pay for all 5 days. Okay. Despite paying that money, I'm telling you, forget these guys, friends of mine who had come from the US. I myself, who's used to these stadiums in India, could not go and use the washroom there. I myself could not go and use the washroom there after paying 1.5 lakh rupees. तो आप 2,000 रुपए 2,500 और 5,000 देने वाले की आप बात ही मत करो. ये हालत है.
during the T20 World Cup, I'm not gonna explain how, but I had a chance to go in one of the corporate boxes. I actually had a chance to go into two corporate boxes. I went into the ICC box and I went into my friend's box. And my God, क्या व्यू है, क्या सर्व हो रहा है, restricted entry hai, you need a separate badge, you need a separate accredit card, you need a separate band, and oh my God, worth every single penny. I just saw इंडिया का जो सेमीफाइनल था, जो सेमीफाइनल है इंडिया की, जो उसमें इंग्लैंड की इनिंग्स थी, we were absolutely getting smashed, कुछ देखने को मिला। तो मैं वहां चला गया, I stood there for whatever innings जो भी इंग्लैंड ने खेली, and oh my God, क्या सर्विस and क्या facilities, and you know, Srini says इतना खर्चा किया, bang for buck कहते हैं ना जिसे, you're getting value for every dollar spent. My friend had come from the US, he got that box with his friends, corporate friends, and wow, every single dollar spent, whether it be travel or hotel, or it was absolutely worth it. Yes, India got smashed, but that is beyond the point.
But yeah, Chetan, a point here is that, you know, majority of the fans are the ones.
My point is, मैं कभी सपने में भी नहीं सोच सकता कि इंडिया के किसी स्टेडियम में आपको ऐसा बॉक्स मिलेगा for normal people. And
Exactly.
Amir Khan or Shah Rukh Khan might get this facility. And Amir Khan or Shah Rukh Khan might get this facility at the Wankhede. Even कोटला में यार, even फिरोशा कोटला में इन बॉक्सेस में ऐसी फैसिलिटी नहीं है. You just have to see the state of boxes, VIP boxes. So it's just absolutely out of the.
Go there, Chetan. Let's not even go there. Let's not even talk about the VIP boxes. Let's not talk about the people who can afford such expensive tickets. At the end of the day, it's all about the fans who come to see their favorite players, who come to see their teams, and they can't afford all those expensive tickets. It's about the fans who can just afford normal seats, and they want only basic facilities. Well, we'll talk about it. I'll go to Jamie, but before that, thank you so much, Srini, for joining with us. I know that you have to leave. Thank you so much for giving your comments on this schedule. Thank you.
Bye.
Now, Jamie, while we were talking about tickets, one thing that crossed my mind was that, okay, once these tickets will be out and, you know, we'll be looking forward to the tickets, are we seriously talking about the physical tickets? In this day and age, जहाँ पर आपकी सारे छोटे से छोटे टूर्नामेंट्स, छोटे से छोटे इवेंट्स के ऑनलाइन टिकट्स जाते हैं, आप यहाँ पर फिजिकल टिकट्स की बात कर रहे हैं, वो भी ओडीआई वर्ल्ड कप में। आप कोई भी अलग कंट्री देख लीजिए, कहाँ पे आपको ये चीजें देखने को मिलेंगी कि आप पहले ऑनलाइन बुक करिए, फिर वो आप इतनी लंबी लाइनों में खड़े हुए हैं। आई एम श्योर आपने सारे वो हेडलाइंस देखे होंगे जहां पर हैदराबाद में, चेन्नई में, कोलकाता में, जहां पर ऐसा स्टैम्पीड सिचुएशंस हुई हैं इंडिया में, और ये तो वर्ल्ड कप है। हाउ कंसर्निंग दिस इशू इज?
Oh, it's massively concerning. And look, it's not the first time BCCI is hosting a World Cup, right? 87 में हुआ था, 96 में हुआ था, और 2011 में हुआ था. Yes, that time you sorry?
2016 as well, 2020 World Cup.
T20 World Cup. Again, right? I'm saying before the one-day World Cups, you were co-host. ये पहला World Cup है where you are the sole host, right? But that's no excuse. And this is the age where our Prime Minister encourages this to be a digital first country, right? There's many examples of how India is leading the way, right? In America, the UPI system is still, it takes 24 to 48 hours to get a UPI, you know, a process done. यहाँ पे वो instant है. So on the one hand, India is leading the way when it comes to certain digital aspects. But then there's small things like, you know, to pay for a challan, right? Recently, it took me 27 attempts to log in to try and pay a challan, which the CCTV proves that I was not even in infringement of any laws. But kaun court jaye, kaun ye kare, right? I'm talking about, to rakh le mere 500 rupees, right? But here we're talking about a public which is going to be pushed through lines. लाठी चार्ज, I think many people who बचपन से उनको शौक है मार खाने का. How else would you describe people getting in line and willingly getting beaten? This is 2023. We're nearing the fourth and final quarter of this year. Digital India, and you're saying कि भाई QR code नहीं होगा, आपको लाइन में लगना पड़ेगा. जो लोग अहमदाबाद में रहते हैं वो तो पहुंच जाएंगे, जो बाहर वो क्या करेंगे वो लोग? हाउ इज दिस नॉट, एंड चेतन इज एब्सोल्युटली राइट, हाउ इज दिस नॉट अ नेशनल एम्बेरसमेंट? Let's stop finding ways to say the BCCI does something right. This is the worst planned World Cup, and this where we at 15th World Cup. Chetan, हम क्या है जो भी है, बहुत World Cups हो चुके हैं. This is the worst, and not even a ball is bowled. Fans are correct. Chetan and I have to make plans. Chetan has already gone and taken the punt and booked places, in some places. I can't do it yet. मुझे तो बोलना पड़ेगा ना, यहाँ बोलना पड़ेगा, वहां बोलना पड़ेगा. My schedule is now actually down to 3 venues. 2 जगह जहां पे मेरा घर है और तीसरा जहां पे एक दोस्त रहता है. कोलकाता तो गया, मेरा अहमदाबाद गया. So obviously I'm also peeved. So there's certain hope. मैं थोड़ा वो हो रहा हूँ, जज्बाती हो रहा हूँ. But it is the worst organized World Cup in the history. Show me any other. Forget other things. 94 America hosted a women's FIFA World Cup. उस टाइम उनकी टीम भी नहीं थी कुछ खास. तो they know how to host it. हम यहाँ बात कर रहे हैं यार लाठी चार्ज के बारे में. It just leaves me really shocked.
Yeah, Chetan.
Do you have a question to ask, or should I just continue?
No, yeah. No. You were just thinking to just say something to Jamie while he was speaking.
Yeah, I mean, look, 14th ko the QR code thing is a disaster waiting to happen. 14th ko you have invited you have the game at the biggest stadium in the world, cricket stadium in the world, probably in excess of 1 lakh people you want to be attending. And ठीक है, 40,000 में से आप 6,000 tickets sale कर रहे हो, तो Ahmedabad में आप you're selling what, 20,000 tickets at the max by that standard. And which is the reality, and I'll come to that reality why. Even with 20,000 people, जो शायद बाहर से आएंगे, नहीं आएंगे, क्या सीन है, क्या नहीं है, we don't know. But 20,000 people queuing up on the 12th and 13th to get their QR codes, to get their paper tickets, it's an absolutely bloody nightmare. It does not happen in any sport. In 23 और इंडिया जैसी कंट्री जहां पे यूपीआई और डिजिटलाइजेशन इज एवरीवेयर. From what I understand, it's Paytm Insider who's doing the tickets, or Book My Show who's doing the tickets. One of them is doing the tickets. They already have everything available for QR codes and everything.
Yeah.
Paytm Insider, I think, screwed up the Women's Premier League ticketing system so badly, and it was paper tickets. Ticket कहीं और से इकट्ठे करोगे और QR कोड कहीं और से लोगे या एंट्री कहीं और से मिलेगा, something. It is that was WPL. That was WPL with small grounds. World Cup is going to be an absolute nightmare during this. अच्छा, दूसरी चीज, 2011 I remember semi-final and the final. India Pakistan semi-final, Mohali. I got a ticket. My friend wanted to watch it. I said, okay, I'll try and see if I can arrange a ticket. और black के अलावा there was no other option, यार. And let's use the word black. Tickets black में जाएंगी. ये जितने भी obligations होने वाले हैं, Srini has left, so मैं खुला कह सकता हूँ कि आप 6,000 टिकट फैंस के लिए बेचोगे, उसमें से 30,000 tickets you are going to give to your club members and everything. भाई वो club members सब लोग नहीं देखेंगे आके मैच. I know this for a fact that the club members in Kolkata and Mumbai did not come to watch Sachin Tendulkar's last test matches, and they put those tickets up for sale in black. 2011 India Pakistan semi-final, 75,000 की टिकट मुझे मिली थी ब्लैक में. फाइनल की 1.5 lakhs की टिकट मुझे मिली थी ब्लैक में at the Wankhede. These prices are going to be nothing compared to this World Cup. And fans will pay. That's the sad part. Yes. People who are coming from America and everything, उनको तो देखना है.
That will be. Huge thing that you're saying.
गलती से जो होने नहीं वाला है, गलती से ये किसी तरह अगर फाइनल में पहुंच गए, तो you are looking at topping at 3.5 lakhs. ये होने नहीं वाला है. ये मैं पहले ही बता रहा हूँ. But गलती से ये अगर फाइनल में पहुंच गए, it's going to be bloody madness. And not just few. I have booked all my venues. My schedule is almost ready. Because मुझे अपने बजटिंग करनी थी, मुझे अपने ट्रैवल का करना था. I have booked my hotels and everything. Tonight I'm going to sit and change for these 10 matches. And it's already bloody expensive for somebody like me जिसने 3 महीने पहले बुक कर लिया है. Imagine for people who will start booking when they get their hands on tickets.
Absolutely.
It's absolute atrocity. You know, absolute atrocity. Or this is you hire Ernst and Young and KPMG for doing your media rights and everything. You hire somebody to do this for you, na baba.
Yep.
No, absolutely. And this is something very.
You do not have a corporate culture. Don't do it. But you hire somebody to do it properly.
Yep. You have the money, exactly. Do that at least.
Yeah, at least do that.
Take the credit for that.
Yeah.
Take the credit for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's something very, very huge, Chetan, that you just mentioned, the sale of tickets in black, the problems that fans will be facing. Now, at the end of the day, we're just discussing about the schedule that ICC released the schedule, all good, all things are in place now, 9 matches will be rescheduled. But what about the fans? That's a very, very big question. How fans will go through this whole process of booking tickets, not only the match tickets, but also their bookings, their flight tickets, their hotel bookings. It's going to be really, really like a nightmare for the fans. And Jamie, Chetan, both have already mentioned here in this live session. And before this, Srini was saying that, at the end of this month, we'll also be talking about how the sale of tickets will come across as something like a disaster to all the fans. So we'll be talking about that as well. But right now, we will just talk.
We'll be talking about another disaster. ये जो renovations का मैंने आपको बताया, जो renovation या जो upscaling जो होना है, वो we will be talking about that as well. आप देख लेना. There is no contractor in this country. 45 दिन में आपको काम करके देगा. There is no contractor in this country.
It's going to be very, very disappointing. We are pretty sure about it right now itself. But right now, we were talking about the schedule of ICC Men's World Cup 2023. Total of 9 changes have been made, especially the big change. India versus Pakistan match has now been rescheduled to October 14th from October 15th. We have already mentioned the reasons. Thank you so much, Chetan and Jamie, for joining with me. It was great chatting with you both. And thank you, everyone, for joining with us in this live session.
Hello everyone, welcome to our new show Crick Sunday with me, Suramya Kaushik. कौन खेलेगा? क्या स्ट्रैटेजी होनी चाहिए? Well, इन सभी सवालों के जवाब आपको यहाँ पर नहीं मिलेंगे, क्योंकि क्रिक संडे में होगा एक स्कूप फन, एक स्कूप मीम और एक स्कूप फुल ऑफ कंट्रोवर्सीज. Well, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter और अब थ्रेड्स भी, इतने सारे सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म्स और जितने प्लेटफॉर्म्स उतने मीम्स और कंट्रोवर्सीज भी, थोड़ी नोक-झोंक and a lot of entertainment. Join us every Sunday at 11 AM only on CricketNext.